Alright everyone, welcome to our big blue boat. As you can see, not much beach to drive on, and it's only the beginning. We've just left our other two people behind. Apparently they were waiting there somewhere, I didn't see them. So just be warned people, that's twice today I've left people behind. Keep an eye on that time people. Now once we're on the boat, feel free to hop on out, have a wander around, and just be back on the bus before we hit the beach on the other side. Do us a favour, my friend. Can you hold that too? Just want to get a bit of video action myself. Alright, welcome to 75 Mile Beach everyone. This beach runs the entire length of Fraser Island, all the way from the most southern tip, facing Four Hook Point, to the most northern point, Sandy Cape, right up the top of the island. Ooh, go away ocean. We've got about another 15 odd kilometres everyone up to the resort where we'll call in for our morning tea break today. The world's largest sand island. Now we've got a little short drive here everyone before we do get to what we call the old sand miners track. Land ahoy, Andrew. Up here. I can see land. I can see land up here, skipper. Alright, I won't talk to you anymore. Some pirate jokes going. I feel like a boat driver. The gentleman behind me, he's also a outboat skipper. He drives those big barges as well. Oh, big stick there. These tyres don't like big sticks, everyone. I'm just going to be a little bit careful here. Oh, here comes a big set too. I'm just going to keep moving here, everyone. If I was to stop, this thing would sink very rapidly. But what I'm going to have to do now is a bit of momentum. Just hold on for a second, everyone, and we'll fire our way up onto this track. Alright. Now that sign does not apply to me. Can you see that happen, okay, everyone? At least we're dry now.
So yeah, we keep on moving. While we are on our way to our next spot, before we get there, I'll tell you a little bit more about the local indigenous people who called Fraser Island home. Now, they were known as the Bachelor Tribe, and on average there was about 700 of them that called Fraser Island home. But at one particular time of year, at a time of plentiful food, the populations over here would swell between 3,000 and 4,000 of them. Because yes, they weren't just found here on Fraser Island, the Bachelor Tribe. You could find them all the way down to a place called Lake Tharaba, which is down near Noosa. They were also located as far west About 120 kilometres. There's a range on the other side of Gympie. They were found all the way out there, a mountain range. Big hole there, everyone just hold on for a second while that wheel falls into that. Right about there. So yes, they were found all the way out there. And they were also located as far north to a place known as the Burren River. It's near Bundaberg. But yes, the local tribes people here, they were known to be a very fit, strong and a healthy tribe of people. And it is for three main reasons that we do justify these people's fitness and their healthiness. Number one reason, these people, they lived on the world's largest sand island, so if they wanted to go anywhere, they had to walk up and down sand dunes. Now, if you've done this before, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. It's really hard walking up and down sand dunes, especially when the sand's soft and dry. Great cardiovascular workout. Second reason behind their fitness and their healthiness is they did have an abundant supply of pure fresh drinking water, because there are over 100 freshwater lakes and also a lot of freshwater creeks and streams. Like greasy sort of flavoured chicken. Smaller lizards called skinks, which would be like a little entree. And French cuisine, plenty of that here, especially in the swampier areas. There's lots of snails and frogs. Yes, you could eat those. I actually seen a YouTube video the other day of someone eating cane toads. We should start turning them into food. What else do we have? Marsupials. There's a lot of marsupials on Fraser Island. Once again, very tasty. Bandicoots, echidnas, possums, quolls. There is also a smaller version of a kangaroo that lives on Fraser Island. It's a little fellow called a swamp wallaby, and they would have eaten him. Once again, low-fat, highly nutritious meat. And they also would have kept his skin and fur to use as blankets on cold nights as well. Way of transporting the huge logs rather than using the animals. Technology kept on advancing as the years rolled by. And they started to use ships to transport the huge logs across the waterways. And then in the final years of the logging industry here, they had 6-wheel drive trucks transporting all that timber over to the western side, where it was then shipped, not only just all around Australia, but all around the world. But yes, they were logging or cutting trees down here on this island all the way through until the year of 1991. Get your cameras ready, everyone. Now, there's an average population of 240 to 280 dingoes here. And I do believe this is one of our puppies. This one here, probably born in about September, August. Maybe around 6 months of age now. Starting to get a little bit of size. They are very skinny when they're younger, everyone. And it does take them several years to develop their hunting skills until they do get very big, strong, and very efficient hunters. Now, they do say there's an average population of 240 to 280 dingoes on the island. Primary food is bandicoots, followed secondary by seafood. They get out here on the beach and they look for any fish, crustaceans or mollusks that are being washed up. This is going to be quite funny. Watch this when the wave washes up. Now, the older they get, the stronger and fitter they get. Each male will have his territory, which he defends very aggressively. And he also has his own harem of ladies, very protective of his girls as well. Even to the point where if one of his girls gets pregnant to another male dingo, when the puppies are born, he actually consents it and he kills them. Once he got two of them. Up on the left hand side you'll see a couple of houses up there. We've got our local police station up there, complete with Selenol. We've got 2 full-time police officers based on the island. There's a tourist information centre up there as well.
7 markers for the plane's landing.
Oh, right, okay, I'll watch out for that.
And we've also got 2 full-time ambulance officers based on Fraser Island as well.
If there are planes coming, normally old mate will be there in a high vis vest, just so you know to pull up and wait.
Yeah, got it. A bit bumpy for a lot of movement, bit up and down here.
Alright, as you can see, 80 km/h sign up there, so we're restricted to doing a maximum of 80 on these open beaches. It's 40 in the populated areas and 30 throughout the tracks. These days the police do get out here with their radar guns, testing for everyone's speed. They also check for drink driving and drug driving as well these days. The same road rules do apply here on Fraser Island as what do on mainland Australia. All your vehicles do have to be registered, roadworthy, and you've got to be licensed to operate them. You've got to watch that speed. In a beach like this, it's absolutely so easy to go a little bit too quick. But yeah, so you can now see everyone the difference between high and low tide this morning. Camp in those designated areas. But it is a nice relaxing way to spend time camping over here. But these days you're not allowed to have campfires when you do come camping here. You used to be able to. We're coming into another 40 zone, as you'll see just here. This little spot here is one we call Youngin Rocks. Now, it's a bit of a misleading name, that one, because you're going to see a whole heap of material up here that actually looks like rock, but it's not. Now, what it in fact is organic material. It has a bit of sand mixed through with it, and it's then being compressed. It forms this material we call coffee rock. The reason it's called coffee rock is that if you get out of the bus with something hard, like say a hammer, and hit it, it breaks up really easy into a coarse sandy type textured material. It does actually look like coffee grinds. Now they do say that it is actually the first formings of coal. You just need a lot more heat, time and pressure. Now on the higher tides you can't come around the beach side here, you have to use that high tide access track. The waves do wash right up over all that coffee rock there, and it does make it impassable. Going to be quite scary. We've got a 6.5–7 metre swell coming with this cyclone that's about to zap the coast, and there's every chance we can lose up to 3 metres of sand here. Now up on the left there, a couple of holiday houses, holiday rentals, nice spot to stay on the beach. But yes, everyone do keep an eye on the weather. I've just checked the Bureau of Meteorology. They've predicted this cyclone that is off the coast here at the moment is going to come straight inland and head south down along the coast here. So just be a little bit careful over the next week, guys, and keep an eye on the news and the weather reports. It can be quite a scary weather pattern. Coming up the second headland along the beach here. This little one here is called Indie Rocks. Once again, there is no actual rock here, it's all just coffee rock. And this one's got a really nice accommodation building up on this headland. There are indeed 6 units in this, 5 units, sorry. Don't know where I got 6 from. So yeah, 5 units in the complex, all with beautiful ocean views. It was for sale not long ago though, the asking price of $2.4 million on this whole complex. And I wasn't very happy because it did sell. I wanted to buy this place, but I just didn't win the lotto in time. One day I will, I'll buy it back. That's right, I'm good. So yes, that just confirms everybody. I just done some code language, sign language with the plane pilot. We're going to try and get you to do that scenic flight on the way back down. That's a pretty awesome way to do it, guys. You get an extra 5 to 10 minutes in the air. And we will have all of our activities that we plan to set out to do completed by then. But next stop is the Mahino shipwreck. You're going to start seeing it appearing up in the distance here, everyone. Now this boat, it was built in 1905 in Scotland. And when the Scottish built the ship, they built it out of really high quality iron as well as teak timber. Now the boat itself was 400 foot long. She had a top speed of 17 knots. It's extremely quick for a boat built back in those years. And it was a luxury cruise vessel or passenger liner, capable of 17 knots. Its main mission was doing voyages from Sydney to New Zealand and back again. During the First World War, they transformed this boat into a hospital ship. They used it to bring back wounded soldiers from the European battlegrounds. And once again, with that top speed of 17 knots, it was great for that job because it could outrun those enemy ships. Back then, hospital ships were targets even. For scrap steel. And in order to make the trip back to Japan cheaper, they decided to tow this one with the second boat. So they took the propeller off it. That made it a lot easier to tow. But that was their fatal mistake, because as they got off the coast of Fraser Island here in July of 1935, an out-of-season cyclone formed up, and with the huge waves and the strong winds like we're about to get, it snapped the tow cable connecting the two boats. Because this one had no propeller, it quite simply got blown straight up the beach and sunk in the sand and has stayed here ever since. Now, I've just popped the video on there, everyone. If you can focus your attentions onto the television screen, this video will show you a little bit more footage of the ship, what it used to do, and also how it come to be here. Now you'll see the big chunk of steel sticking up at this end of the boat. That is the rear rudder arm, so this is where the back of the stern would have been. Would have been overhanging that by about 10 to 15 metres even. Okay, everyone, pop those seat belts on. Why, thank you. And dolphins on the way back across there. Nice little end to the afternoon. A few more bumps here, everyone. Before we're back on to our smooth, boring old bitumen. Get you back to your accommodation for a nice refreshing shower and hopefully a nice relaxing evening. Well, it looks like we've got someone having a bit of fun in the soft sand up here. Big, nicely bogged. Little training area there, that's what we call training position, because if you can't get from there to the boat, you're going to have absolutely no hope when you get to Fraser Island. Oh, he's having a bit of fun. Oh, she just doing quite well. Oh, got the recovery vehicle there. Oh, fishing rod, get it in, quick, thank you. Okay, back onto our nice hard dirt here. Probably our bus had a full drive. I will give her a rub for a job well done today. I was just having a look at the Jeep in front of us. It's totally torn the entire front off the Jeep, the front bumper.
Tyre,
yeah.
Okay.
Full front bumper removal, and also smashed the bottom of the radiator off. Obviously he wasn't concentrating. Hit one of those washouts and he's done quite a fair bit of damage there. As I was saying this morning, you have to concentrate out there.
Is that a rental car or is it a private one?
That's a private owned one. That's going to cost you about $1,500 to $2,000 depending on where he got it towed from.
Yeah.
Quite an expensive recovery up there.
Just for the recovery?
Yeah, that's just for the recovery. The gentleman that owns these tow trucks, he's a qualified mechanic, so he not only picks the cars up, tows them, gets paid for that, he gets paid to repair them as well. Get it all sewn up. Alright, back into town we go, everyone. Drop off wise this afternoon, we'll be going to the Rainbow Beach Resort.